Welcome to the Embodiment and Accountability Podcast, Episode 13, in creative mode. So I have my beautiful Alchemy by LA Goddess Amulet, which is for creation or creativity and other things as well, but that's mostly why I wear it, and I just love it. So pretty as well. Creative mode. I feel like it's something that I'm in and out of, and that I don't like. I used to think that I needed to be like in creative mode, like not all the time, obviously, but I don't know, that I needed to force it somehow. I don't know. And I've discovered lately that it comes most natural to me when I'm having fun, when I'm not putting pressure on myself, and when I'm just being maybe more confident as well. I don't know, maybe that comes because of it. I don't know, but yeah. And I'll just like share an example, little story of a story, I guess. Recently I've created a version, like a mini version or like a part of my story, thanks to some of my beautiful friends who challenged me, but like in a really beautiful way. So it was not like, anyway. And because like sharing from your own story and just being vulnerable and talking about what you went through, so to now, like how you're feeling or how things are going, etc. Like, you know what I mean. And that was like a super big challenge for me, because I was like, what do I write about? Like, what part of my story is important enough for me to write about? Like, anyway, so like all sorts of crazy ideas came through my mind, or like crazy thoughts, and I was just like doubting myself big time. And then I don't know, I just started writing little pieces here and there, but not like anything coherent, but just like timelines, things that I've been through, or like where things started maybe and whatnot. And so I absolutely didn't know where this story was going, because I didn't even know like what the end would be, because like, let's be real, I'm not at the end of my story. So, there's no end per se, but like the outcome, if you will, of what I've decided to write about. So like I didn't know basically what that was anyway. And so this week, I don't know, I was working on another project, a 4-week workshop on self-doubt and self-worth. And so that has been challenging as well. For me, for obvious reason, because just like I've mentioned, like I'm doubting all sorts of things, right, about myself, and like, will this be pertinent, or like I'm talking about my story again, or like, will people relate to it? And not in a way that like it has to be like the same exact story, but like, will some parts of it feel resonant with people anyway? And so I was working on that workshop, and I was just like in the flow, in that creative mode, which hasn't happened often for me, because I've always been like so scared to like step into that role of creating something to share. And anyway, and so I was in that creative mode, and it was, in the evening, and I've always had that thought in my head of like, I need to create in the morning because like I have more energy, and that's where I don't know, have more time and whatnot, and like it's starting the day. But these past few months, I haven't been able to like wake up early like I used to, and just, have that amazing time to do something, for me. Maybe like I was gonna say meditation, but I don't feel like I'm there yet. So like guided breath work with the Pause Breathwork app. Let me know if you want the link for 30 days free trial. I'll send that to you. And the Inside Timer, I mostly do Jenny Scholl prayer, or I think that's what they're called. I just love them so much. And so it's more on the guided side of things, and not like just me still with like nothing, trying to like distract my mind or occupy my mind, I should say. Anyway, so that has been challenging in itself, because like I'm starting the day like mostly on my phone, and just be like, oh, like let's look at the emails and who talked to me, because like I talk to a lot of people, and like a lot of my friends are in different time zones. And so anyway, and just starting the day like in a frenzy, and just boom, started, I need to do this, I need to clean this, I need to blah 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 blah. And I don't know, so it just felt right to start creating something in the evening. And I didn't stop myself and be like, oh no, like I need to be in bed in like an hour, because otherwise I won't be able to like wake up in the morning earlier and blah blah blah, which has been my reality lately, because I've been getting to bed extra late for me. And so it's more difficult to wake up motivated in the morning to like go do something amazing for myself, right? And anyway, so sorry, I felt like all over the place, but here we are. It's all good. Anyway, and so I've decided to stop working on the workshop, and I was just like, ooh, that's so cool. I'm just gonna write what I had already like written on my sheet of paper. I think that's, anyway, sorry, my brain, I think I'm starting like a migraine. I'm seeing like spots, and so I'm like, ooh, that's not fun. Anyway, and so I'm just like, I'm gonna go rest after that. So sorry for the anyway. So I've just decided to write what I had written and not think much of it. But then like starting to write like on my computer, I was like, oh, okay, so this piece I could put like before this other piece. It would make more sense, like time-wise, and like, because I'm like talking about like how things were and how things are now. And it was like so much easier than on that piece of paper, because like on the piece of paper it just gets like all bunched, all like I can't separate things because it's already written. And so it was so much fun, so much easier for me to write it all. And then things just started to make sense, and like ideas came up of like, oh, I could be saying this and then this after that, and maybe this would be like this would fit with like the things that I want to highlight or bring forth with that story. And so, yeah. And so I was just like super pumped and super proud of myself. I finished at like 10 p.m. or something like that. It was like super late for me. But I was like so happy. And I was just so proud of myself. And so I celebrated like this, could I say like effort? I mean, I guess. But I don't feel it in the sense of like it was hard to do, because it was fun. And because I didn't put like a limit on myself of time and be like, no, you can't do this at this time because of blah, blah, blah. And just like stay in my head and continue to procrastinate, because I've had that challenge for a couple weeks now. And luckily, like our call to tell our story have been rescheduled to like next week. And so I was just like, let's do this. And I just did it, even though like I wasn't sure that I would do it all, like from start to finish. I just went like with an open heart and just, I don't know, it was so fun. Anyway, I think like what I wanted to share about like creative mode is that for me, what I've discovered lately is like, don't put yourself in a box. And I'm talking to myself. Yeah, so like don't put time limits either. Like I also could have maybe said, oh, I'm just going to do this for like 5 minutes. And then, because sometimes I do get that, oh my God, this is going to be like so long. It's going to take me so much time. And like, I don't have like the energy right now to do this. And then you start doing something and you're like energized by it because it's so fun. And, you know, you're just like, ooh, like in the flow. And so like, that's why I'm like, maybe like just giving you that idea of, okay, I'm not going to do this like super long. I'm not going to take an hour or whatnot. I'm just going to take 5 minutes and see where that goes, but not like being like, oh, okay, 5 minutes, that's it. Like if things were starting to flow, then continue. If you have, like, obviously have time in your schedule to, if you know, if this feels like you're getting into that flow, obviously. But yeah, I feel like for my scaredy mind, sometimes giving it a smaller like timeline and just be like, yeah, it's okay, we're just gonna start, we're just gonna write some words, and if nothing else, like, you know, if it doesn't feel like it's coming up, then we're just, you know, gonna do it later at a later time, and that's okay too. But I don't know, I don't feel like I'm an expert at like being in creative mode, but it just felt like it was something on my heart this week because of that, what happened and how it made me feel while I was doing it. I was just like so into it, and it was just so fun to be in that energy and that flow and that freedom, I could say. It didn't feel like it was work. It didn't feel like it was hard or heavy, or because, you know, like I was revisiting some things that I've had lived in my past or whatnot, and yeah, I'm like, not that it was like super dramatic or anything, but yeah. Anyway, I think that's what I wanted to share. And yeah, I hope it was somewhat valuable and maybe encouraging to you as to it looks different for everyone. So like somebody else, creative mode will look totally different than mine. And oh, so true, I forgot about, I went for a walk, like 5-minute walk outside in my neighborhood, and just enjoyed the sunset at like 8 p.m. So like right before deciding to switch it up and to start working on my story. And so I feel like that also helps me feel more grounded and just be more in tune and like in my body and just connected. And yeah, I just love being outside so much. And sometimes and I feel like I've done that for so many years of forcing myself to stay inside because I have things to do, like, and I'm not doing them because I don't feel like that energy like bubbling up and wanting to come up because it's all like stuck in mush and just, I don't know, just like not clean and feeling like it's good to come out. I don't know how to explain that, but it's a feeling. So, but yeah, and so I did go on that small walk. So just, 5 minutes, just enjoying the birds singing and that beautiful summer wind and those like leaves in the trees singing, and I don't know, that beautiful sky with some clouds, but like, having that all of that sunset colors, like the corals and the yellows and the orange in the clouds. I don't know, it's just so beautiful. And yeah, so that was fun. That was a cool moment, and I'm looking forward to having so many more of them. And I'm going to be playing with ways that I can feel into that energy, into that flow, into that sense of wanting to create, or something like that. So just sending you so much love. Thank you for being there, and see you next time. Bye.